It's time for the Bedlam series of football. Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State, live on Fox Sports Net, next.
Today on Fox Sports Net, few schools can match the rich college football traditions of Oklahoma. Six-time national champions, the first team to win back-to-back national titles twice. Their coaches, Wilkinson, Switzer, were legends on the sidelines. But in recent years, the National Championship Cup ran dry. Now, in the 21st century, the Sooners are back, led by an offensive machine that's triggered by Heisman Trophy candidate Josh Heupel. The undefeated Oklahoma Sooners are once again the #1 team in the nation. Today, the pressure is on to stay undefeated and on top of the polls. So much is riding on this game. Bowl bids, the national championship, but it won't be easy. The Sooner wagon travels to the unfriendly confines of Stillwater, Oklahoma, home of the upset-minded Oklahoma State Cowboys, who bid farewell to their mentor, Coach Bob Simmons. An emotionally charged afternoon of excitement awaits on this edition of College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net.
It is a beautiful day for football in the Big 12 Conference, and a sellout crowd have come to Lewis Field in Stillwater for the 95th Bedlam series of football between the top-ranked and undefeated Oklahoma Sooners and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Hello again, everybody. Along with James Lofton, I'm Ron Thulin, and this is our last regular season game. We feature the top-ranked team in the country, but we also feature the most accurate passer in college football, Josh Heupel. And if Oklahoma State wants to win this football game, they have to find a way to slow this guy down.
Well, I know all the ballots have gone out, and I'd put my dimple next to Josh Heupel. He would definitely get my vote. 67% completion percentage this year. He's done everything they've asked of him, won all 10 ball games to this point. So when they recount, I think Josh Heupel will be Heisman Trophy winner.
You're not going to get an argument from me. Now, the Oklahoma State Cowboys will be going after their 4th win in the last 6 games versus the Oklahoma Sooners, but it's an emotional day for the Cowboys as head coach Bob Simmons in his 6th year. He announced he is resigning. He was under fire at the time. We know there's going to be execution.
Well, I think Bob Simmons has talked about the fact that they have to let those emotions out, but still you have to play a football game out there. You're playing the #1 team in the country. You have to play with perfection. You have to play maybe the perfect game if you expect to upset the Sooners.
Well, history tells us that Oklahoma State will have their hands full today, because when Oklahoma is ranked #1, they are 42-0 versus unranked opponents. You know, the OU defense has gotten a lot of publicity, and it's because of their linebackers, Rocky Caldas, a Butkus finalist, and Torrance Marshall, his counterpart. The defense is ready, and so are we. Kickoff straight ahead.
Both teams have playmakers in the run game. Oklahoma's defensive coaches say Oklahoma State's Reggie White might be the most explosive back in the conference. He ranks 4th in the Big 12, averaging 100.5 yards a game. Now the smallest Oklahoma Sooner, 5'7" Quentin Griffin, has a knack of scoring touchdowns, 16 of them this year. Coach Bob Stoops will need him to come up with big plays in the ground game, as he has all year long. Guys?
Thank you very much, Eric. This is the most lopsided rivalry in college football since 1946. OSU's won only 6 times. Bob Stoops, 17-5 in his 2nd year at Oklahoma. Just signed a contract extension. He said he is extremely happy as head coach at Oklahoma. And in his last head coaching job at Oklahoma State, with family by his side, Bob Simmons 3-2 versus the Sooners in his 6th season. He's not sure what's going to happen after this. Scoring a lot. They're 90th in scoring. And at quarterback, making his 6th start, the redshirt freshman, Aso Pogai. He's poised, has a live arm. The line is big and solid. Josh Lind at right tackle, the only senior on the line. And they're going to start 3 wideouts with Lindsey, Woods, and Fobbs. Fobbs in motion. They keep it on the ground with White. Tries the right shot. I think it's going to be dumped. Nothing doing by that Sooner defense. 30 turnovers on the season. The line very underrated, but they are excellent. Corey Callens, his 41st start for the Sooners. The linebackers, they are the best combo in the league with Marshall and Calmus. Roger Steppen also joins them at the linebacking core. And in the secondary, Thompson, Thatcher, Williams, and Strait. 2nd down, we'll call it 9. Again, it is White. Left side. This time he dances over the 25 up to about the 27-yard line. Before Corey Callens comes up to make the stop, the senior out of Jenks, Oklahoma in Tulsa. And says, let's not have any of that. Let's win one for the school. Third down. Bo Guy, nice little touch. Pass is complete up to Fobbs, and he gets up to the 40-yard line with his 30th reception of the year. Rocky Kalmus comes up to make the stop.
Kick it if they give him a chance.
I think he can, too. Now they go with 4 wide receivers. Oklahoma State wanted to run a lot of unbalanced stuff today. They'll keep it on the ground, straight ahead, up to the 50 into Oklahoma territory. J.T. Thatcher finally bringing Reggie White down, the senior out of Liberty, Texas. Pickup of 12 on the play. They're showing what they need to do, and that's get big yardage on first down.
And it's always the second guy that
yeah, he said he never saw him. Now the ground game successful. They try it again, and again they pick up yardage. Inside the 45, down to the 43. Derek Strait making the stop again on Reggie White, but not before he picked up 5. Only 4 base runs in their playbook. Aso Pogai also a threat to run. Let's try it again. This time the Sooners cover up, picking up 3 on the play. Again, it is Reggie White. You saw he's gone over 1,000 yards this year running the football. 12th Cowboy to do that. Then on third down, they go 2 wideouts to the right. Man in motion. It is White. Pogai gives it to the fullback, Tim Burrow, and he is stacked up, nothing doing.
Gets straight into number 40, Tim Burrow.
Burrow only his 21st carry on the year, and Rocky Kalmus was right in the mix. The linebacker, the Butkus finalist, that will be decided on December 8th, and you'll be able to see that right here on Fox Sports Net. James Lofton and I get the chance of hosting that, and now Bob Stoops waiting to see what OSU is going to do, and they're going back. Keep an eye on him. The kick by Scott Elder hits at the 10. Rolls toward the end zone. Nice job, OSU, covering it up. And they're going to down it at about the 1-yard line.
And the difference in college football, you saw the guy go in the end zone, knock the ball back out. It's where the ball is, not the feet of the man. In the NFL, if that guy steps in the end zone, then it's a touchback. That's an excellent play by the Sooners to knock that ball back out of the end zone.
Oklahoma, Lewis Field for the 95th meeting between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. The Sooners try to become the first South team in the Big 12 to go undefeated in conference play. Their first possession, they keep it on the ground. Trying the right side, Quentin Griffin, the little 5'7" sophomore running back. Of course, Josh Heupel, 22 games, at least 1 touchdown, and 22 games, at least 50% completion. The line, they have been solid, improved each week with Romero, Duncan, Bertram, Skinner, and Kempenick. The Sooners have 3 wide receivers with plus 500 yards receiving. 5 of them have caught passes better than 50 yards. 5. Heupel takes his time, swings it out. Quentin Griffin gets away from 1 tackle. Dances up to the 15 to the 16-yard line. Terrence Robinson pulling him out of bounds.
You have to play with emotion, but you also have to execute. And one of the basic things on defense is tackling after the catch. Right there, the head should actually be on the opposite side, on the outside. Lets Quentin Griffin get to the sideline and turn that into about 5 or 6 extra yards.
So the Sooners out of the hole. Heupel back about 10 yards, swings it back out to Griffin. Again a missed tackle as he gets up to the 26-yard line. The key, the line has to get pressure. They'll come with 3, they'll come with 4. Jaquay Thomas needs to get some pressure from the outside. The linebackers, Robinson, Levels, and Carter. Levels is awfully good. The secondary, this young secondary has given up 19 touchdown passes this year. Chris Massey, number 8, is their best cover man. About it, and Oklahoma, their second first down of the football game. Heupel with 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the bottom of your screen. Here comes the rush. Pressure backside. Heupel's pass is complete to Fagan. Another Oklahoma first down as he gets up to the 43-yard line. Pickup of 18 on the play.
Number 12.
He gets up slowly.
Heupel is when they think you have him in trouble, he's really at his most dangerous. He's going to have to move out of the pocket because of the blitzer on this side. And when he moves to his left and he throws back across his body. Nice catch down the field by Curtis Fagan. This guy, Josh Heupel, you think you have him cornered, and that's when he's...
Another 1st and 10 for the Sooners. 3 wide receivers to the left. Hesitation. Quentin Griffin with some running room down to the 20. Knocked out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
Run that old counter OT trap. See the tackle come all the way from the backside. He gets the kick out block. A player's greatest strength is also his greatest weakness. Quentin Griffin, short legs, so they get going real fast. Well, once they get going real fast, they don't pick up as much yardage to pull away from people.
Fagan in motion. They keep it on the ground with Seth Luttrell, the senior fullback out of Mustang, Oklahoma, whose father, Jim Luttrell, played for the Sooners. Dwayne Levels came up with the first hit. One thing is with great success rate in the red zone, as we saw, better than 93%. Heupel, straight drop, steps up in the pocket. This is where he's dangerous. Looks in the end zone, almost intercepted. Robbie Gillum, the junior out of Highland Village, Texas, had his hands on it from the...
Identify where the line of scrimmage is. Right now, it's at the 12-yard line. Josh Heupel pulls up early in front of that 12-yard line, launches the ball. His receivers don't realize what he's trying to do with the throw flat across the end zone.
3rd down and 5. Heupel, plenty of time. Fagan to the 5, down to the 4-yard line. That'll be good for a 1st and goal for the Sooners.
On the screen.
Again, Fagan showing a little motion. Heupel rifles in. Touchdown, Curtis Fagan and the Oklahoma Sooners.
Number 12, Curtis Fagan.
His 56th of the year, Curtis Fagan with the touchdown, and the number 1 Oklahoma Sooners strike first. Offensive line of the Sooners. That is one of the reasons for their success. The Cowboys moved the ball on their first possession. Couldn't get into pay dirt. Reggie White, he's been the workhorse of the Cowboys. Alonzo Mays. Guy, straight drop, has some pressure, steps up, he's dangerous. Over the 30, gives the Cowboys a 1st down. Corey Heineke coming up from that left defensive end spot. The junior out of Edmond, Oklahoma.
3:51 off the clock.
On 1st and 10, White bounces out to the outside, but Torrance Marshall wraps him up. And we have a penalty flag thrown on the far side. 12 this year by the coaches. And
Here he's played real well alongside Calmus.
Guy keeps it over the 45 up to the 47-yard line. Michael Thompson wrapping him up. I'm like a puppet, man. They just hand it to me and I read it. Guy looks up, throws it out of the flat. Pass is complete. And hog tied at the 42-yard line. Penalty flag is thrown. Gabe Lindsey on the reception, but Roy Williams came up and just ripped him from behind. And the Sooners again penalized.
Him see the motion, and as soon as he saw that motion, he got on his horse and he was getting over there. Roy Williams gets his hand up on the face mask, and Gabe Lindsey gets up and he checks to make. He's called in the huddle. They're getting right up to the line of scrimmage and getting on with it.
White, right side, skips over a tackle up to the 30-yard line. Close to a 1st down. Michael Thompson on the stop.
I got to ask you, Ron, you're a semi-native of the state of Oklahoma. When was your first OSU game?
1975. Penalty flag is thrown as OSU should get the 1st down.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards, repeat the down.
Over here, 3 down at the bottom. There's your 3 down at the bottom. Got them spread out just the way you want them.
Guy has time, pulls it down. OU collapsing on him, tries to reach forward to the 30, and he is going to be about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards short of the 1st down.
This guy is Jamal Fobbs, number 2, the motion man.
Guy looking for the option, has Fobbs trailing. The pitch to Fobbs. They close quickly, they run him out of bounds. No 1st down. Roy Williams coming up from the strong safety spot to start the impressive defensive performance by the Sooners. Guy changing things at the line. OU, nice rush. Pass across the middle, wide open, Marcellus Rivers. Up to the 38-yard line, Torrance Marshall on the coverage.
So his left, the defensive player moves and the offensive line.
On the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot, repeat 1st down.
Now it is 1st and 20, just what OSU cannot afford to have happen offensively. 1st and long, Guy scrambling, has time, looking, has a man. Complete up to the 29-yard line. Willie Young with only his 9th reception of the year. He is a speedster out of Kansas City, Kansas. Sets up second and short. Guy calls his own number, leans forward over the 30 up to the 32-yard line, and that'll be a first down for the Cowboys. Torrance Marshall on the stop.
Get to this level, sometimes discretion is a little bit better than vaulting over guys.
Well, he's got 20 yards running the football. White has had success in the first quarter, but this time he is going to be stacked up. Well, they hustle on every play, that's for sure. Guy sees some pressure, throws it out. Pass is complete out of the flat to Gabe Lindsey. Running room up to the 50-yard line.
By Gabe Lindsey.
Well, he had a great prep career as a running back. 3-step drop. Guy in the flat, complete. Down to the 42-yard line, Jamal Fobbs, who last year was the big running back for the Cowboys.
You always have to locate him if you're the defense.
Nothing doing. Rocky Calmus shooting right through the middle to trip up Reggie White.
Everybody talks about playmakers on offense. Your quarterback, the big-time wide receiver, the running back. Well, you get playmakers on defense, and it becomes a little political after a while.
That's by the coaches. Guy looks left, looks right, over the middle. Intercepted! J.T. Thatcher with his 8th, still running. The senior out of Norman, Oklahoma, with the pick.
225 pounds, and just the athleticism that he runs the ball with. Runs with great power. Talking to Bob Stoops before the ball game, he said he may not be the fastest guy. Watch that move right there. It's power football from the Sooners.
And he has tied the OU record for interceptions. OU leads 7-0. As he usually has about 3 or 4 options when he comes to the line. Nothing doing. Good defensive effort by the Oklahoma State defense. And it's 3rd and 9 for the Sooners. Good defensive stand by the Cowboys. Heupel looking, throwing, incomplete. Overthrown. Intended for Andre Wolfo.
Aren't very
39-yarder. Patrick Fletcher the holder, and he splits the uprights. His longest was 40 coming into the game, and Tim Duncan adds to his point total on the year. Duncan for 3. Something the San Antonio Spurs would like to say. And the Oklahoma Sooners lead 10-0.
A weather girl. How about weather boy? Would that be like a superhero?
Somewhere in this country. Guy runs the option.
That wasn't an option. That was, I don't want to get hit. You take it.
That will dimple your Chad. 10-0 our score, 7-10 remaining in quarter number 2. Eric Clemens, James Lofton, Ron Thulin at Lewis Field in Stillwater. The Sooners keeping it on the ground. Griffin spinning away. What a run by the youngster up to the 37-yard line. Here is a guy that nobody really wanted when he was in high school. Bobby Jack Wright was hired as an assistant coach at OU. They said, go recruit Texas. There was nobody left. But Quentin Griffin's high school coach says, I've got a guy that's tiny, but you may want him. 2nd down. Heupel, the shovel pass. A lot of running room again for Quentin Griffin. Chris Carter makes the saving tackle. 12 records.
Now the Big 12 records are impressive. Oklahoma has never had passers, so that's not a big deal. Josh Heupel even said that. But to break conference records in a conference where they've thrown the ball pretty well from time to time.
Oklahoma State blitzes. Heupel this time.
That ball was thrown back.
That was behind him.
I thought that ball was thrown back.
I think you're right. In college football bowl action on Fox Sports Net and your local Fox affiliate. Guy hands it off straight up the middle, and again the Sooners stuck the run, and again it is number 20 joined by number 10. Cowboys. Watch the Sooners secondary. Guy back, scrambling. He is hit. He throws it away, and that's going to be intentional grounding.
And that's going to be a safety. See Rocky Calmus coming. Pressure on the outside, and when he spins back around is when he's able to make the play.
And he's working on a guy that's 315 pounds, 6'6".
Yeah, but the key word is working. He didn't give up and just get kicked around the corner. Continues to work, and that's that spin move back to the inside.
Coming up at halftime, the Nissan Halftime Report. Eric will be on the field and give you all the update on all the scores from around college football today. Plus, we'll send it out to Kevin Frazier, Kellen Winslow, and Artie Gigantino out of Oklahoma. And the BCS plus first half stats and highlights all coming up on the Nissan Halftime Report.
I think the only thing about the BCS, Oklahoma moves on. They play Kansas State next week in the Big 12 championship game. A one-point victory is enough for Oklahoma to remain #1 in that ballgame.
I think you're absolutely right, and they should. Heupel, plenty of time right over the middle. Josh Norman, his first reception, and he crosses the 50 down into Oklahoma State territory. OSU brings 5. Heupel, the quick looking pass to Josh Norman, complete, and that will be a first down for the Sooners. Now the Sooners just about 41 yards better than Oklahoma State here in the first half. Heupel, plenty of time, pulls it down, lets it fly. He's going to be picked off. At the 40-yard line, Josh Heupel is intercepted.
Sometimes you're going to get lucky with that, but most of the time you're not. Josh Heupel, his 10th interception of the season.
That's his 5th interception in the last 3 games, and he only had 5 in the previous 8. Now Pogai, he's looking across the middle, and he's intercepted. Torrance Marshall, running room. Ball down, out, rolling around, and I think Oklahoma still has it. Torrance Marshall with his 2nd interception. Of course, his first was against A&M that won it. 11 from the OSU 32.5-yard line. Heupel, 2 wide receivers to the right. He rolls right. Shuffles it right in the middle. Running room for Curtis Fagan. And he has an Oklahoma first down. And
Kind of a H position.
only 10 seniors really involved in this game for Oklahoma today. Heupel keeps it, tucks it, runs it down to the 15, and he is wrapped up at about the 14-yard line by Terrence Robinson.
Griffin in the backfield.
OSU rushes 5. Heupel, plenty of time. Pass tipped, intercepted again. Albert Craig, the redshirt freshman out of Millwood High School, tipped by Dwayne Levels. Craig with his 3rd of the year. To that Oklahoma State defense, James.
Yeah, it's been a physical first half. A lot of hitting. A lot of guys who are limping into halftime.
And here's Eric Clemens with Bob Stoops.
All right, Coach. Halftime, the offense has struggled a little bit, but your defense has come up big. Your assessment here in the first half?
Just that offensively, we got to take care of the football. We're just we just made too many turnovers to put the ball in the end zone. Defensively, we played extremely well. Have come up with a number of big plays. We just got to take care of the football. We got to go run the football a little bit more and take what they're giving us. We're trying to force it downfield too much.
All right, Coach, good luck to you in the second half. Thanks. All right, Coach Bob Stoops, his team up 12-0 here at the half here at Lewis Field. Time for our Nissan Halftime Report. We'll return here to Lewis Field in Stillwater in just a few moments.
3rd down for the Sooners. Just about 6. Heupel looks for Gritton in the flat. It's swatted down. OSU is all over that. Zach Aiken, the senior out of Putnam North High School in Oklahoma City.
Well, you don't have a great speed player. Jamal Fobbs, we talked about him, #2 in the slot right now. He's a good player, played running back, has good skills. They don't have a guy who can just burn it down the field.
Tatum Bell, the true freshman out of DeSoto, Texas, with his first carry, and he breaks forward for a Cowboy first down. Now the Cowboys, 1st and 10, they keep it on the ground. This time Tatum Bell, or nothing doing, Torrance Marshall stacks him up.
Del Miller with his ability to run the football also.
Pogai looking for a little go pattern, has the man, and he overthrows him.
See, now that could be a flag right there. That ball's overthrown.
Rashawn Woods, the intended receiver.
When you're running in that direction.
We saw Alonzo Mays do it a few years ago here. Only 33% for the Cowboys on 3rd down, and they're facing 3rd and long. And like they did in the opening quarter, they have to burn a timeout early. We've played just about 3 minutes in the 3rd, and OU leads by a dozen.
During the break, Josh Heupel and Jonathan Hayes right here, his coach, a tight end coach. He's throwing some balls into the net. I don't know if he's trying to see if he has a zip in his arm.
Well, they're checking something out. Mark Mangino, the offensive coordinator, coming out, but it's 3rd down and 10 for the Cowboys. OU rushes 4. Poguy steps up, starts to run it, and he is going to be dropped after a pickup of 2. Kick it away. J.T. Thatcher at his 10-yard line, one of 11 punt returners in college football that has returned 2 or more for a touchdown. This is a little pooch kick. Thatcher signals the fair catch, lets it go. And again, OU will be backed up inside the 5. Absolutely, Eric. Astro play turf, they call it. It is exceptional in wet weather. Heupel with a little shovel pass. Again, it is successful. Quentin Griffin breaks his way over the 10 up to the 13-yard line. Zach Warner out of Putnam City West High School on the stop.
They need to stretch the field vertically, get something going deep to really challenge the defense.
Well, now they have 4 wide receivers. Heupel keeps it up over the 15, up to the 18-yard line, and that'll be a first down for the Sooners.
Wide receiver set.
Kalmus and Marshall moving up on the line. On 1st and 10, OU brings 5. Got it. Throw down the flat pass, incomplete. Marcellus Rivers had it and lost it. Poguy looking things over again, 3rd and long. OU on the blitz. Whips it out. White dances free, dives forward. They totally stepped out at the 46. He would have had the first down, could not tippy-toe down the line. 50% of his passes, and that's on the line right now. 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. They keep it on the ground. Griffin, big hole. First down, Oklahoma, up to the 34-yard line.
You know what? It is very tempting as a quarterback to want to come out and sling it around, but you must take what the defense gives you that time. Josh Heupel audibilizing to a run. You saw the
plus 17 on the carry. He'll try it again. Griffin dancing around. Heupel throws a block. Griffin cuts back. Picks up a hard-earned 4 yards, but how about Josh Heupel throwing a block?
Yeah.
8 minutes gone by here in the 3rd. Again, the pass is knocked down, almost intercepted again. He does operate on a sort of a mini field, just like Texas Tech does. And now they face 3rd down. We'll call it 6. OSU rushing 5. Heupel steps up, and he is going to be tripped up from behind right at the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a yard. Defense, and they're standing up to the challenge. They're coming after Jeff Ferguson. Here they come. And the punt almost blocked. Gets it away. Lindsey from his 18. Going left. Has some room. To the 40-yard line. Gabe Lindsey.
On the return.
And it looks as though OSU's got a shot of energy. Again with a short field, but they have to take advantage of it. Tatum Bell brings it. Look out. To the 30.
61-yard touchdown run. Number 33, Tatum Bell and the Cowboys.
Tatum Bell with his longest run of his young career and his first rushing touchdown. Simmons' last game, and the freshman from DeSoto may have just sounded a wake-up bell for the #1 team in the country. After today, he will no longer be the head football coach at Oklahoma State. He has been very emotional about it, but he says he's at peace with it. He resigned under pressure. His team said today, they were telling us on the field, they would like nothing more than to give this man a going-away present, a win.
The field vertically, you have to use it. You have guys outside who have speed. Get them down the field.
Swings it out into the flat. The OSU defense is there, but running right by him, Damian Mackey.
Green Bay called the Mocus. They weren't having a good day. We'd say the Mocus was on us.
I like that. 2nd down and inches. Heupel just keeps it, and OSU stacks him up. Looks like he got it, but it's going to be very, very close. Tomorrow on America's favorite pregame show, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris are joined by weather girl Jillian Barbieri and tells you where it's hot and where it's not. Our sarcastic stage Jimmy Kimmel makes his picks. It's all part of the wildest NFL pregame show on TV, Fox NFL Sunday, tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox. Heupel swings it out, left side, first down OU. Heupel pressure backside, fires it over the middle. Caught by Curtis Fagan. And that will be another Sooner first down, and that is the Josh Heupel we have seen all year.
Get up there.
9th play of the drive. Started on their own 21. Griffin again. Bounces forward, down inside the 40, down to about the 38-yard line. Now they back off. They bring 5. Heupel runs away from it. The shovel pass again. Griffin inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line. Quarter number 3. OU is marching. OSU rushes 4. Heupel, penalty flag is thrown, pass complete. Matt Anderson, the senior tight end out of Moore, Oklahoma, his first reception in the big fella.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot by rule.
Damian Mackey is in the backfield. They give it to Griffin. Hole over the right side, breaks through again, down to the 20, down to the 19-yard line.
Are they going to come after you? Are they going to drop back?
Little play action pass, wide open, dropped! Josh Norman wide open. Could not put the hands around the football. Heupel looking. Being rushed, and he is dragged down from behind by DeQuay Thomas.
I don't like the way Josh Heupel went down on that play.
Only the 15th sack allowed by the Sooner offensive line, and Heupel slow to get up. Duncan for the field goal. 45-yarder, and it's sailing wide to the right. And it is no good. And the Cowboys have the momentum on their side. 14-13 left to play in this football game. Josh Heupel and the top-ranked Sooners have their hands full in Stillwater. 2 to play. Straight ahead running, Tatum Bell again, a good chunk of yardage on first down. Eric Clemens, you're on the sideline, you're 3rd and 3. Boguy keeps it, stumbles, and he is dropped for a loss of 3.
Corey Heineke.
Corey Heineke, the junior out of Edmond, Oklahoma, came in as a walk-on transfer, makes a big play for the Sooners.
And Heineke, right at the outside guy, he's playing the outside responsibility. He doesn't get baited in by that fake to the inside. Nice job. And there's not supposed to be a turf monster on the receivers to make the big plays down the field.
Only 1 touchdown scored by the Sooners. 3rd and 20. Heupel, plenty of time. In the flat, has a man drop. Curtis Fagan had it in his hands and couldn't wrap it up. Again, Heupel a victim of drop passes. The snap is good and the kick is good. At the 38-yard line. Lindsey heads left, has a wall, cuts back in OU territory down to the 38-yard line.
Boy, and Jeff Ferguson, the punter, number 83, got nailed in the back, but he was right in front of every orange uniform on the OSU sideline. There was not going to be a yellow flag thrown there.
In OU territory, Oklahoma minus 14 yards here in the 4th. Bob's in motion. Boguy keeps it, razzle-dazzle down the middle, has a man.
I mean, that's a slow developing play. You fake 2 reverses, you fake the handoff up the middle to Bell. He becomes the eventual receiver, and it could have been interference at the tail end of the play.
looking, passing, complete up to the 35. They did just that, James. And then some.
That is the arm strength that Del Miller, the offensive coordinator, was talking about when we walked into the meeting. Said, you got to see this guy. You got to watch him in person.
Sets up a 2nd and 6. Guy, his own little shuttle pass. But OU there to wrap up Reggie White. Torrance Marshall was right there.
Here, Marcellus Rivers, number 85.
Plenty of time. Guy dumps it off. Complete. First down. Oklahoma State. Kari Jackson, the senior tight end out of Detroit. Yeah. 2nd and 7. OU brings 5. Guy steps up. Still on his feet. Throws. Complete. What a pass by Aso Guy. Rashawn Woods with the reception. The redshirt freshman playing like a senior. Maybe a yard by Bell. Torrance Marshall lowering the boom on him again. Guy bobbles the snap. Scrambling. Steps up. Running room. Down to the 7-yard line, and he is dropped hard by Marshall again.
2 downs to get in the end zone.
And there's movement. Oh, my.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards, repeat 3rd down.
Depending upon how much he had to eat this week, that's your mismatch. That's your size matchup. He's going to be lined up. The inside receiver, the 3 guys on this side. I like him if you can knife him right down the middle.
3rd and goal from the 12. Guy looking, throwing, just throwing it away. He's hit and dropped as he let it go. Floating it into the end zone. Knocked away. Complete, intended for Rivers. Derek Strait, Johnny on the spot. The redshirt freshman out of Austin.
He got the ball out quickly. He tried to go for the mismatch with Marcellus Rivers. We talked about Derek Strait all game long. We saw the tackle in the backfield. Here he comes up with a big play. He gets his hands on the ball. That ball could have been thrown a little deeper into the end zone. But nice elevation by Derek Strait playing that football.
But there are still 3 minutes and 15 seconds showing on the clock. Griffin slips, falls back at the 12-yard line, and a penalty flag is thrown.
It's a flat. Now, would that be a tripping call? Now, if Josh Heupel's aware of it, he's going to let this thing tick all the way down to about 1 second, so snap it with about 2 minutes. He let 10 seconds stay on the clock.
Heupel looking for the first, and they hit. Complete to Curtis Fagan, right at the first down marker. His best pass of the evening.
Underneath, they run them off deep. They stretch it vertical, and there it is.
We saw him in that A&M game under pressure, seeing him tonight.
Josh Heupel stepping into that throw, getting everything he had on it. Throw it again.
You wouldn't think. You need to run maybe 3 plays. There's one. But Griffin is stopped. Carter wrapped him up immediately. Keeps it himself. Close to a first down. They say he's going to be short by about 2 yards. 2.
Would you pass here?
No, I wouldn't. Calls his own number. Heupel's got the first down, and that'll be the ball game. So the Oklahoma State Cowboys threw quite a scare into the Oklahoma Sooners. But Bob Stoops' team becomes the first team from the South Division of the Big 12 to go through the season undefeated. And he will head to Kansas City next week to take on the Kansas State Wildcats in the Big 12 championship game. Josh Heupel and the Oklahoma Sooners squeeze out a victory over the Oklahoma State Cowboys. The final 12-7. Eric Clemens is with OU coach Bob Stoops.
Bob, now you can finally really concentrate on that Big 12 championship next week. Your emotions after this one?
Phil, I'm very, very grateful. I sort of steal a line from someone else. I know the good Lord was smiling on the Sooners today. I tell you, we were fortunate. And Oklahoma State, a lot of good players and good schemes. They do a nice job. Coaches do, their team does. It was a good, hard-fought game. I thought it would be.
We talked yesterday about the Big 12 championship. You like that setup where a team gets a chance to really prove it deserves to be where it is on the field. Talk a little bit, look ahead to me to the Big 12 championship against Kansas State, your second meeting against them.
It'll be a great atmosphere to go up to Kansas City and compete again with Kansas State. It'll be fun. It'll be a great environment. We'll be excited to play. Feel great to be 11-0 right now. Very fortunate today, but we'll be anxious to play next week. It'll be a great environment.
Do you feel at all that your team was flat in any way, or is this just a credit to Oklahoma State and the way they played you?
It's a credit to Oklahoma State. We weren't flat at all. They did a nice job. I'm not going to sit here and, hey, Oklahoma State made plays to keep them in the game. Fortunately, we made enough to win the football game, and there's a difference, and a big difference in winning and losing. We found a way to win.
You really came up with a stand there on the 4th down in the corner of the end zone. I'm sure your heart was jumping there.
Our defense has been great all year, and in this game, they came up big a number of times. Thanks.
Coach, thank you very much. Good luck to you in the Big 12 championship. Coach Bob Stoops, Ron Thulin, back up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Eric Clemens. 12-7 our final, but I think Bob Stoops now maybe because of the way they played against Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and in this football game, I think you might have to go back to the drawing board a little bit or at least refine some things between now and the Big 12 championship game, James.
Well, I also think for the Big 12 championship game that they pull out all the bullets. Now, they have to hope that Savage, the wide receiver, went out, is healthy because they need all their players for that ball game. And the tough thing about it, you know that you're going to play in that championship game, but you look around and you see everybody else sitting at home. Only the SEC does it. The Pac-10 doesn't do it. The Big 10, the ACC, they don't do it. You have to do it. So do your best and forget about the fact that, hey, it may be a little unfair. We've already beaten everybody. We deserve to be #1 and go to the big game, but you still have to prove it. And the BCS ratings going into today, you see Oklahoma was #1. I don't really see them dropping because you look at all these other ball clubs, they've lost games. Oklahoma, they haven't lost any ball games.
And more. But let's start off with the Sooners taking on the Cowboys, a rivalry down in Oklahoma. Stillwater to be exact. Bob Stoops looking to lead the team to its first perfect season since '87. Here, Josh Heupel gets the Sooners on the board, connecting with Curtis Fagan for the short touchdown pass. Later in the first half, Heupel and the Sooners looking for more. Heupel threw for 154 yards, a season low. Here, picked off by Elbert Craig, who takes it back to the 26. Sooners up by just 12 at the half. Third quarter, the Cowboys get on the board. Tatum Bell rings up a 61-yard touchdown run, and the Cowboys cut the lead 12-7. Final minutes of the game, Oklahoma 3rd and 11, deep in their own territory, but Heupel coming through in the clutch, connecting with Curtis Fagan for the first down, and that leads to that. The kneel down for the Sooners as they go on to win, and yes, they would love to make it to the Orange Bowl. Bob Stoops and the Sooners survive. 12-7, the victory for the #1 team in the land. For Bob Simmons, the Oklahoma State Cowboys coach, this is his final game. Bob Stoops, by the way, has as many wins, actually more wins now, 18 in less than 2 full seasons as the last 2 OU coaches produced in 4 years.
Heupel, Curtis Fagan, give him 6. Sooners up by a touchdown. Third quarter, Oklahoma State, Bob Simmons finale, hanging around, down 12-0. Tatum Bell logs on, and he is part of the Gone Network. 60 yards, and the Cowboys right back in this thing at 12-7. Fourth quarter, Cowboys driving. Aso Pogai stepping up in the pocket, looking for Rashawn Woods. He's down to the 10. Cowboys knocking on the door, trying to spoil the Sooner season. Same drive, 3rd and goal from the 12. Pogai under some heat, tosses it up and got smacked. Now it's going to be 4th and goal. Oklahoma State down 5, decide to go for it. They have to. Pogai, Marcellus Rivers, broken up by Derek Strait. Oklahoma takes over on downs. Boy, they escape against Bob Simmons' team. 12-7 the final, lowest point total of the Stoops era. Heupel threw for only 154 yards and 1 touchdown and was picked off a couple of times, but Oklahoma maintains that track to the Orange Bowl. Of course, Kansas State looming large next week in the Big 12 championship game.
Well, Reese, I'm sure that Miami was aware of the score in Stillwater, and had the Cowboys completed that fourth down pass, the national championship matchup could have been set, a rematch of that game that Miami won on October 7th. Instead, Oklahoma has that one final hurdle that Nebraska couldn't clear in 96 and K-State couldn't clear in 98. And the way they're playing right now, Kirk, looks like a toss-up with Kansas State. Why is their offense struggling so much?
Well, I think teams have made adjustments. If you looked at Oklahoma early this year, teams were playing a lot of man coverage and blitzing them. Now in the last 3 weeks, teams are playing a little bit softer, rushing 3 or 4 people, playing zone and keeping everything in front of them, coming up and making tackles, forcing Oklahoma's offense to be patient, and it's been a very effective. Josh Heupel in the last 3 games, 6 interceptions and only 3 touchdowns. You could expect Kansas State to do the same thing this weekend. I'll tell you what, Oklahoma's starting to come across to me as a team that isn't playing with the same enthusiasm, almost like they're just expecting to win games. And I'll give them a little motivation a little bit later in the game.
They're going to need a lot of motivation. I'll tell you what, there's another team out there, Virginia Tech is playing tonight, was disappointed Oklahoma won that ball game because they could have made the BCS. Now, we talked about it in the pregame show. The difference between this game would be Virginia Tech's special teams. Well, they recovered a fumbled punt, touchdown. They blocked the punt, offsides. They returned the next punt, 55 yards, touchdown. They got 21 points, 14 off the special teams.
Plus that crowd, they get into that game, don't they, when they get those special teams going?
If the Hokies are smart, they should root for Oklahoma to win, by the way, because Oklahoma would go down to there and play in that Orange Bowl. That would free up a BCS at large bid. If the Sooners were to lose to Kansas State, KSU gets the automatic bid out of the Big 12, and Oklahoma probably would get one of those at large bids. So Oklahoma actually
confusing, isn't
it? I know they're playing. You look at the actual polls, 130 ballots between the coaches and the AP. Oklahoma was being voted first in 127 out of the 130. They might lose a few votes. I think they'll lose some ground in the computers to Florida State. That was a dead heat coming in. You beat a 3-8 team by 5 points, you lose some ground. But what about your top 5, mister? Is there a change?
You know what? I've been fighting a good fight in Norman, Oklahoma now for many, many weeks. And in fact, I was trying to hold up with Lee last week at his pep rally down at Tallahassee. But enough's enough right now with Oklahoma and the way they've been playing. Now, granted, they've been winning their games. But if I had to put a top 5 out there right now, the top 5 teams in order, I think the Miami Hurricanes right now are deserving of the #1 team in the country, followed by the Florida State Seminoles. And we might get a chance to see that matchup. Wouldn't that be exciting?
That'd be exciting.
Woo! Oklahoma, better regroup, boys. Better get ready to play Kansas State, or it's going to be ugly next week in the Big 12 championship game.
Yes, pep 'em up.
And then Washington, because they beat Oregon State head-to-head, headed to Pasadena. And the Beavers, we're going to see in San Diego at the Holiday Bowl, which should be exciting.
All right, here's mine. And you know what? I hate to tell you guys, it hasn't changed.
Of course.
This is the 3rd straight week that I've had these guys here. And let me tell you one point. Washington beat #2
There's Oklahoma
and #5.
They're sliding down.
They're sliding down to #4 because of the way they play. Yes, I don't care if they're undefeated. They didn't play like a good team today.
I told you, we're giving them motivation for next week. If that's what they need, that's what they just got.
You give them motivation, and I'll inject some sanity. You cannot rank an undefeated team in a major conference. Yeah, they had some tough games lately, but over the body of the season, they survived some tests. Are they playing the best football in the country right now? No. Are they more deserving of a ranking over teams that lost a game?
No.
Yes, in my mind.
But they're not playing better than Miami or Florida State
a week ago.
Trust me.
The Beavers.
And welcome back. Oklahoma, the 3 biggest wins of the season came as underdogs, Texas, Kansas State, and Nebraska. Since they've been the #1 team, they haven't really quite played the same kind of football against Oklahoma State, a team that won exactly 1 Big 12 game coming in. This was a struggle for Stoops' troops today in Stillwater. Early on, though, looked pretty easy. Josh Heupel, Curtis Fagan, touchdown, 7-0 first quarter. But that would be their last touchdown of the afternoon. They had a field goal and a safety. It's 12-0 when the Cowboys get back in the ballgame. Tatum Bell, the pitch, 60-yard touchdown. Oklahoma State, midway third quarter, back to within 5 points. Place was rocking. In the fourth quarter, Asa Pogai steps in the pocket, finds Rashawn Woods down to the 10. You see the clock, trying to get in position for a go-ahead touchdown here. Later, they would get to the 10, push back to the 12. Pogai under pressure, throws it away. One final chance now on 4th down as Pogai picks himself up. They got to go for it. The fade. Marcellus Rivers, it is broken up by Derek Strait. Oklahoma takes over on downs. Heupel makes a big 3rd down pass to move the chains, and they run out the clock, and Oklahoma's defense for the third consecutive game, making the big plays at the end. Josh Heupel, for the third consecutive game, has 1 touchdown and a couple of interceptions. Quentin Griffin got it done on the ground. If anybody, playing better football right now than Miami, including #1 team Oklahoma. Break down this game. I'm not going to ask you to make a pick because it's much too early for that. We'll get to Arrowhead Stadium. You can put on the hat of either the Sooners or the Wildcats, but give me an early point in the game.
If I may, real quick,
well,
I thought, well, either way, I think, coming up next week, the thing that Oklahoma is going to have to do is make some adjustments on offense. Right now, they have just been turning the football over. They've lost their rhythm. I think it's because of defenses and the way they have gone up and schemed against Oklahoma. And Oklahoma has to be able to run the football. They have to be able to stretch defenses, which they have not done in the last couple weeks. And the other thing is they need to play with more enthusiasm, more motivation. I think since they got the big win over Nebraska and people began to believe in their program, they've kind of gone downhill. They play better when people doubt them. And if that's the case, I think a lot of people are going to doubt their ability to beat Kansas State.
Boy, they ought to listen to me more often. They really play great. Let me tell you something. Oklahoma's worst nightmare happened when Kansas State beat Nebraska. Why? Because Kansas State can run, they can throw, they play better defense than Nebraska, they can kick the ball better than Nebraska. Oklahoma would have bombed Nebraska. They're going to have all kinds of problems with Kansas State.
They will not be a big favorite, maybe 3.5, 4 points. So a lot of folks giving Kansas State a very good chance to win that football game.